Hi, and welcome to another edition of Jay in Costa Rica on a Moto. I'm your host, Jason, and today I'm just going to go over a few different things. First, I want to apologize for not posting for a little bit. I've had a lot going on. I went to San Jose last week to test ride a motorcycle at one of the dealerships. That's a whole other video that I'll be talking about, the experience of a dealership in Costa Rica. On the way home, we had a little accident. Someone ran into us. I actually kept the motorcycle upright, but, kind of tweaked our backs a little bit. And then the following day, we had to pack to move because we moved to a new house, which is what I'm going to discuss later on in this video. But I wanted to apologize for just going silent for a little bit. But I'm going to get back into my groove now that we are starting to get settled. Also, anybody who doesn't know, I do have autism. So sometimes it can be difficult for me in a transition like this with moving. And it takes me a little bit longer to really get back into my normal self again. So I want to thank my fiance Tuesday for putting up with how difficult I can be. And let's get into moving in Costa Rica. So one of the things I've said before in some of my other videos is that it's really important, I feel, to come down here and really get a lay of the land. You're going to find that after some time, you're going to run into more and more and more opportunities that may seem better than some of the first connections that you make when you get down here. So that's why sometimes when you find stuff on the internet that seems so amazing, you really have no idea, because when you're here, the opportunities that come about are even better. I feel like sometimes what you're finding on the internet can almost be like the bottom of the barrel, like things people need to sell, and like the gems are being held on to here, for people who really come here and really want to check things out. And I'm not saying you can't find good things on the internet to move into, but honestly, most people do end up, leaving within the first 1 to 3 years. And a lot of that has to do with is they don't know, getting bit by an ant, they don't know what to do with themselves with all this time that they all of a sudden have. Your life in the United States, you're constantly working, you have a job, you're going to work. I'm getting bit by an ant. And you don't realize that that hectic life that you had in the United States doesn't exist here. This is a tranquila lifestyle, pura vida, everybody's chilled out here, and there's a lot of free time that gives you all this time to think and ponder. And yes, a lot of people think that I'm going to come down here and I'm going to start painting. Even, it's something I've always wanted to do, and that's what I'm going to do. And if you come down and do it, that's great. But a lot of people end up having all of these ideas that they're going to come down here and do that. But there's a reason why you never started painting in the United States, and it's because you don't find the time. If you can't find the time for yourself to do these things, then how are you going to find the time when you're down here? I mean, it sounds like an oxymoron, but the truth is that if you really want to paint and you live in the United States and your time is limited, you would find a way. Even though in your mind you think that that's something you'd really love to do, it's very likely that if you came down here and tried to do that, within a year you'd be bored to hell because you wouldn't know what to do with yourself. And that happens to a lot of people. That's really what happens to most people down here in Costa Rica, is that there's so much time that they don't know what to do with themselves. A lot of people start drinking a lot more than they normally do, and there's a whole mindset that you have to adapt to because it's a different lifestyle completely. And when you come down here and have all this time, it can be really difficult to adjust to that relaxed, I don't need to rush to get anywhere. I'll get to it. And it's not meaning that you don't get the things done that you need to. You obviously do. But the urgency for most things just doesn't exist anymore. And because of that, all of a sudden you feel like you almost have too much time if you really don't know what to do with yourselves. And so you know, I love the motorcycles. I'm making all these YouTube videos, and these are the things I've found to occupy my time that I don't even have any extra time anymore. You know, I was unable to make any videos this week because I was moving. And so the packing and the moving, and then also there will be some other videos subsequently coming up about my trip to San Jose. I went and tested a KTM motorcycle. This is on my Costa Rica channel, so I know that it's not the most exciting thing to talk about motorcycles, but I went to a new dealership, so I'll talk about the experience of going to a new dealer to buy a new vehicle in Costa Rica in that video. But getting back to moving, we moved to a different house, and we really love this new house. It's got a yard that's completely fenced in. It's got an electric gate that allows us to use a clicker to come in and out with our motorcycles, and now they're completely protected. Plus, our dogs can really run around the yard. It's a very large yard. There's a lot of nice foliage and plants around the yard. It's fairly new, but you know, if you can see behind me, there's a papaya tree, a banana tree, and there are a lot of other fruits and vegetables that are planted here. We're going to put some kale and some other items. Oh, I see there's some sage right here. Oh no, rosemary. There's a rosemary plant right here, and we really haven't spent enough time here to really know exactly what's going on the property here, but it's a new experience, and we're looking forward to it. And that's why I highly recommend that you come on down to Costa Rica and check it out. Stay in an Airbnb maybe for 2 to 3 weeks while you find a monthly rental. And maybe then also have in your mind that, you know, maybe only stay there for 6 months, or when you make an agreement with the landlord, only make a 6-month, you know, lease plan with that landlord, because you may find other opportunities within that 6 months to a year that may work better for you in the long run. I am getting chewed by ants, so I'm going to get off the grass. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't move down here. You should move down here. I actually think there are a lot of good reasons to move down to Costa Rica. What I am saying is come down here first. Don't just buy something on the internet or even rent something, you know, from afar before even getting here, because you really don't know what you're going to get. Check out one of these videos popping up on the screen here, and I hope you found the information I shared today helpful in making some decisions for yourself about moving here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you all next time.